Hook. Imagine stepping into the most opulent palace on earth, where golden roofs gleam under the Beijing sun and every corner whispers power and luxury. Now picture this. One wrong glance from the emperor, one moment of disfavor, and suddenly your world freezes. Servants vanish, warmth disappears, and you're left rotting in silence while the rest of the empire forgets you ever existed. This isn't a scene from a drama. This is the terrifying reality behind the Forbidden City's cold palace. A punishment so cruel it was worse than death. Welcome to the shocking secrets that even the emperors tried to bury. For over 500 years, from the Ming dynasty through the Qing, the Forbidden City stood as the beating heart of Imperial China. Nearly 1,000 buildings, almost 9,000 rooms, all hidden behind towering red walls that kept the outside world out and the darkest truths in. Emperors ruled from its throne halls by day and retreated to its inner courts by night, surrounded by thousands of concubines chosen for their beauty, talent, and loyalty. But in this world of silk and jade, favor was everything. Lose it, and you didn't just fall from grace, you were erased. Here's what most people don't know. There was never an official building labeled Cold Palace on any map of the Forbidden City. No sign hung above a gate. No tour guide points it out today. Lenggong was never a single location. It was a sentence, a whispered order from the emperor that could turn any quiet courtyard, any forgotten wing of the harem, into a living tomb. The moment a concubine displeased her ruler, whether through politics, jealousy, or simply growing older, she could be Daru Lenggong, banished to the Cold Palace. Overnight, titles vanished, allowances stopped, servants were withdrawn, and the once vibrant woman was left to wither in isolation. No visitors, no news from the outside, just endless days of silence and regret. Historians describe it as social death, a slow psychological execution designed to break the spirit without spilling blood on the palace floors. The most haunting example still echoes through the halls of the Palace of Great Brilliance, one of the 6 eastern palaces in the inner court. Today, it houses priceless royal gold and silverware, but in the late 16th century, it became the very definition of the Cold Palace. Its unwilling resident was Consort Gong, a woman whose story reads like the ultimate imperial tragedy. Born Wang in 1565, she started as a lowly palace maid serving the emperor's mother. One impulsive night in 1581, the Wanli emperor, then a young ruler, took her to his bed. She became pregnant and gave birth to his first son, Zhu Chongluo, the boy who would one day become the Taichung emperor. You'd think that would secure her place forever. Instead, the emperor was mortified. He had fathered a child with a servant girl, and he never forgave her for it. He favored another consort, Zhang, whose own son he desperately wanted on the throne. Consort Gong was stripped of real power, her son taken from her arms and raised by the Empress Dowager. In 1582, she was confined to the Palace of Great Brilliance, and for nearly 30 years she lived there in shadows. Rival orders ensured servants withheld water and winter coal. She cried so bitterly, day after day, that she eventually went blind. Her son grew up knowing his mother was alive but forbidden to see her. Only on her deathbed in 1611, as she lay dying at age 46, was the now-grown prince finally allowed one last visit. She clutched his robes, whispered that seeing him grown meant she could die without regret, and passed away that very night. Her suffering was so profound that the Palace of Great Brilliance earned its nickname as the Cold Palace for centuries afterward. But Consort Gong's story is just the beginning. Across dynasties, the Cold Palace, or whatever courtyard it happened to occupy that year, claimed countless women. Some were starved slowly when food deliveries mysteriously stopped. Others watched their beauty fade while younger concubines rose in favor. A few went mad from the loneliness, their cries said to still haunt the narrow alleys of the inner court after dark. The Forbidden City has long been whispered about as one of China's most haunted places, with locals speaking of weeping women in white drifting through the courtyards, or unexplained flute music floating on the wind. Many of those ghosts trace back to the forgotten souls of the Cold Palace, women whose only crime was falling out of an emperor's fleeting affection. Think about the sheer scale of it. The imperial harem could hold thousands of women at once, all competing for the emperor's rare visits. Eunuchs controlled access, spreading rumors and playing favorites. One misstep, a jealous remark, a political alliance gone wrong, even bearing a daughter instead of a son, could seal your fate. And the emperors knew exactly what they were doing. By turning disfavor into this invisible prison, they maintained absolute control without messy public executions that might tarnish their image. It was clean, it was quiet, and it was devastating. Even the last emperor, Puyi, later confirmed in his own writings that no single cold palace ever existed as a fixed building. It was a concept, a tool of power, flexible enough to punish anyone from a low-ranking concubine to a fallen empress. In the Qing era, similar fates awaited women like Consort Shen, the Pearl concubine, whose bold spirit and Western ideas clashed with the old guard. Though her end came in a different tragedy during the chaos of 1900, her years of house arrest carried the same chill of forgotten status. Today, as you walk the restored paths of the Forbidden City, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site and bustling museum, it's easy to admire the symmetry, the carved dragons, the priceless artifacts. But pause near the Palace of Great Brilliance and remember the woman who once stared blindly at its walls, waiting for a son who might never come. Her story, and the stories of so many others, reveal the human cost hidden beneath the grandeur. Power in the imperial court wasn't just about ruling an empire. It was about deciding who mattered and who simply disappeared into the cold. These secrets remind us why the Forbidden City still captivates the world. It's not only a monument to architectural brilliance but a chilling testament to how absolute authority can crush lives without leaving a trace. The golden roofs still shine, the red walls still stand tall, but now the whispers of the past are finally being heard. If you ever visit Beijing and step through those gates, listen closely. You might just catch the faint echo of a woman who once ruled the emperor's heart, and then vanished into the cold palace forever. What do you think? Was the cold palace truly worse than execution? Or was it the perfect imperial weapon? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if these hidden histories fascinate you, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most mysterious places. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the stories they tried to bury. See you in the next video.